Voices of Ndi Anambra, our pride, our voice.
Yes, welcome to Voice of Ndi Anambra podcast. Again, it's another amazing time, and thank you so much for your subscriptions. Thank you so much for liking. Thank you so much for sharing our posts. And yes, I love you. I really, really love you. And if you have not, please do well to do that, okay? Subscribe. Click on the notification bell and always share our content right here on Voices of Ndi Anambra podcast. Welcome to a platform where we get to talk our minds. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebunam. You can call me Jasmine. And today on the podcast, I have someone special co-hosting with me in the name of PhD, that should be Dr. Mazi Ejimofo Opara, PhD. Welcome to Voice of Ndi Anambra.
Thank you, Pip. Thank you, viewers at home. And thanks for joining us again on this edition of Voice of Ndi Anambra.
Today on the podcast, we want to take a look at something quite special. Today, it's more of an eye-opener to some of the things that has gone on in the government so far, so good, which is the breaking of an amazing Jinx. One big Jinx like that, 34-year-old Jinx has been broken. Someone said Mr. Governor is a Jinx breaker.
Yeah, he is.
And someone asked me, which other Jinx are people breaking? So I think we're going to answer all these questions here today with the person we have. He's going to tell us the next Jinx.
Yeah, we're going to break. We're going to break 34-year-old Jinx. Yeah, maybe there should be another Jinx to be broken.
There should be another Jinx to be broken. Yeah. And with us is Engineer Ifeanyi Okoma, Mr. Commissioner for Works, Anambra State. Welcome to Voices of Ndi Anambra, Mr. Commissioner.
Thanks very much.
Nukwi Jele is with us on. Usually, I wanted to do the introduction myself.
Okay.
You say, Mr. Commissioner for Works, Nukwi Jele.
Okay.
No. I ain't Chinese.
Is it Ijele Obosi or Ijele Anambra?
Ijele Anambra.
I ain't Chinese.
Exactly.
And the person was Professor Charles Chukwumasolo.
Absolutely.
I want to actualize his dream and his vision for the Anambra.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Commissioner, in the introduction, you talked about the breaking of the 34-year-old Jinx of Anambra State not having a befitting governor's lodge and a government house. We would like you to take us through the journey so far, where you met this, where we are today, and generally how you feel about this.
Thanks very much. I really appreciate this opportunity to discuss this subject matter. But I'll go back to the memory lane.
Okay.
After the creation of Anambra State, the governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chinua Kemba, conceived the idea of building a befitting government house. And that was supposed to be located in this site. The project gets embroiled in different kinds of legal issues that no government that came after him were able to touch it. When they look at it and look at the magnitude of the problems associated with it, they felt and they believed that they should allow the lying dog to lie and then get back to Amobia, where we have us. It's actually former Chief Judge Spother that was converted to temporary, in quote, temporary government house. All the successive governors have been in this place for 34 years. But I want to say that there was an attempt by the last administration to revisit it.
Okay.
But when they looked at the magnitude of the problem, they had to drop it. And what has happened is that, like our people, the land that is dedicated to this was bastardized, carved into different plots, given to members of the House of Assemblies. Some of them have started erecting buildings.
Wow.
So it is a foreclosed issue that there will be a government house here. And so when we came on board, right from the time Mr. Governor won the election, before he was sworn in, he started conceiving the idea that one of the promises he made to Ndi Anambra is that he has to give them a befitting government house. And only God knows how he settled with the powers that be that we used to hold this without allowing it to continue moving. And then the next issue is the little place that is now left, which is just the main admin block.
Okay.
And just before, in fact, just the back of the admin block, a little left here. No property, at least less than 20% of the whole place
Was
was
remaining.
supposed to be, because every other place has been given out. So the governor, being a leader, having foresight, and having the political will how to revoke the land that has been given to people, and the buildings that were here were taken out. It's a major bold step that someone, a leader with a heart of lion, can do. Having taken out that, the designs were done, and of course we were able to, behind the present governor's lodge, where you have the lodge, was a dump site by the Aswama. Now you cannot come near here because the stench was so
Very bad.
bad. And by the left wing, there was a ravaging erosion. So every condition looks impossible for us to move in. But governor determined, in fact, some people have even an idea, because they want to create another 3-arm zone somewhere across the
Around the Chiago.
somewhere around the Chiago. Of course, also those places, parts of those places have been encroached as well. So you see, our people love land, and if you understand them, because Anambra is one of the smallest states in the country after Lagos. Unlike Lagos, whose land mass increases because of reclamation from the sea, ours are being devastated by erosion. We have more than 1,000 active erosion sites. And so Anambra is erosion capital of the country and arguable of the world. So the land, which happens to be the only precious thing we have, are for grabs. So that Isiago also has been encroached upon. So the governor decided that this project should be done. He's sitting on 28.8 hectares of land, consisting of 56 buildings, and was, to the best of our ability, done in a record time.
Okay.
Wow.
Because of governor's
56 buildings.
dedication, insistence, and the support.
Okay. So you talked about some of those, legal challenges that was met while trying to put up this place. You're not a lawyer, so I'm not going to bug you with what the challenges are, but we want to look at it in terms of technical detailing. There is this story in town that this place was all built up and that the governor you people merely came to just paint the buildings and clear the place and invited Mr. President to come and commission it. So we'd like you to speak to that. What was here like? The very first day you moved in here with your men, what was here like?
To come and see.
To
We're
come
not
and
talking about the caterpillar.
Yeah, exactly.
The first day you
You
came,
came
Mr.
here
Governor
to
said, come and see what's
see this
going on
place.
here.
Come with your men.
Yeah.
What was here like?
So what was it like?
I'll tell you. Actually, after our inaugural meeting ESCO and I being sworn in, the governor invited me to the government house, and then with Commissioner of Fine Housing, we went there to discuss this project. And here, I'm sure that you should have a drone shot of this place. But I'll tell you, no one can move into this place. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible. Apart from the fact that the structure that started by Mbadniju became a hideout for the den, a den for robbers
Are you serious?
and the miscreants. No person ever dare comes here. The place is not fenced, was not fenced. The place is bushy. The place is unkept. Apart from a few houses that people are now building within this environment.
That's those who encroached and
Yes, and they because it's been allocated by the government. So those people and nothing to write home about. But I'll tell you this: one can see Awka.
Go on with your wife.
So you see, and I say to them, yes, assuming we've done just painting, but by your own assessment, do you believe that this house and this floor has been here for 34 years? If you believe with the roof and everything, I'll accept. If you believe that this auditorium that is sitting 1,500, actually we designed it for 1,250, but expanded it a little, so it's sitting about 1,500.
That's the amphitheater?
The amphitheater. It's actually a theater because originally it was supposed to be an amphitheater. An amphitheater is an open theater.
Open theater.
Yes. So it's a full theater. And everyone saw as we were battling to conclude it, working day and night.
Yeah.
So if that means painting, I'll accept. If it means these arrangements, knowing where the kitchens are, knowing what you have to put, thinking of the boreholes, which we have about 10 boreholes, batteries of 10 boreholes that are connected and filling the place, and the reticulation of this place. If that is part of the painting, I'll accept. If these roads were repainted, I accept. But it is all for you. But I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
When the Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umaya, fellow of Nigerian Society of Engineers, came here and I was part of the people that escorted him. He was amazed at the amount of work that is being done. And not only was he amazed at the amount of work being done, he stopped and said to the governor, "You can't finish this in 2 years. This is 8 years tenure. Age in wire." That is that. And you will all life. This is Awka. We didn't just import this from somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, probably I assume that this might be Zamfara. So people don't know. People haven't seen it. They all saw the buildings and they just see us painting it. And
So how long did it take to complete this project?
It took us about 2 years plus.
Okay. 2 years plus.
So you started immediately after swearing into office?
About 6 months after swearing in.
Wow. So something else that's really coming to my mind is, if you may, I would like to, because here, an elder statesman, after embarking on the tour, we saw on social media that he referred to this place as a mini city. So, if you go by what he said, it means that someone can actually live here for the entirety of his life without stepping out. Would like to give us specifically what makes here that mini city? What are those key features that makes here a mini city?
Well, I'll tell you. This place is correctly described as a mini city. Because you have all the facilities you need.
Yeah.
A government house that sits on 28.8 hectares of land, that has 56 buildings, is something. Then there is, for example, here, apart from the Governor's Lodge, which we might call the Eagle Lodge, but and all the ancillary facilities that support the Governor's Lodge. Behind the Governor's Lodge, you have an orchard.
Yeah.
And the walkway alone within the orchard is about 6 kilometers. Yes. And this, when it is fully grown, we can only invite people.
Once we go to shop for it,
we will invite people like you to have a night with nature. Government House of Ndi Anambra.
Wow.
So, apart from the buildings that will contain supporting staff to Mr. Governor and houses the secretariat and the governor's office. There is, we have the kitchen that serves the people that lives here, what we call the general kitchen. We have a restaurant. We have guaranteed, we have NEPA. We are running on 33 kVA, which is guaranteed according to the EDC 18 hours. And then we have the generators that are standby, and we have solar support system. So strictly speaking, you can live here, do everything you want to do here, and the only thing you cannot do here is to shop, because we don't want to bastardize the place. But designating a place, shopping center, means that you can live here throughout your life without going out. Because anything you need in the city is provided.
Okay. Recently, the ESCO, which you are part of, named the entire place Lighthouse, and some of the opinion that we should start using it though, so that people will get used to, the way we have 33 Downing Street, the way we have Aso Rock,
We have
people,
Douglas House.
even put an article day to make it have weights, So what actually brought the idea to the table of the Lighthouse?
Well, first of all, you see, we are packaging Anambra for the next generation. I'll tell you this. It's only the black man that don't think about the next generation. Where the past is more glorious than the present and the future. We want to change that narrative. One of the things that you know, that is actually the mantra of this administration is building
To last.
livable, prosperous homeland. Changing it from departure launch to destination launch. So for us, we will start from the concept. Here, before we came in, the boulevard used to be 4-lane boulevard. Today, it's 8-lane boulevard. What does it mean? It's heralding you to a new area. And then as you move in, you will see Ekweme Square by the left. Ekweme Square has been repurposed and redesigned with increased capacity. As you move in, you see the Tower of Light. The Tower of Light is about 30 meters high with a globe of light. Anambra has been the light of the nation.
Indeed, we are.
And we are proud that we are the light of the nation. And so, this is Obi Ndi Anambra, which is the lighthouse that radiates light to the world. And I'll tell you, strictly speaking, let's go to any spheres of life. Think of computer, that is IT. You think of Philip Emmanuel, who is the genius, and sitting in the United States of America. Think of business people. You think of Ndi Anambra. Think of academia. You think of Ndi Anambra. Think of traders. You think of Ndi Anambra. Anambra basically is the light, not just of Ndi Igbo, but of the nation. And we know that, like you have, solution is here. Nigerian solution is starting from the light of the nation. And that light of the nation, someone is sitting there. The solution is here. Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who brought the solution, is sitting here, which will now translate the solution to Nigeria. So Nigerian solution is in the lighthouse of Ndi Anambra.
Absolutely. So let me ask. Emma, so my question is this: was there any point in this entire journey, 2 years plus, that you were on this project, that you looked back and you were like, I'm tired, I want to leave? This is too much. I want to hear that beat.
Is
Because
that possible?
The way you're, yes,
is that
because the
possible
way
for
he's
someone
talking
to
now,
say they're tired?
he's not sounding like one AI or one Votron. As a human being, I want to know, was there any point in this entire project that you felt like telling Mr. Governor, please, sir, I'm tired, I want to go?
Well, I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
When we took over this project, it was a Herculean task with a lot of resistance from different angles.
Yeah.
And the truth is that if it's not Professor Chachukwumasulu, the CFR, who has given me unprecedented support, I would have backed out. There are no two ways about that.
Yeah.
And then when he asked me to take over, and I looked at the magnitude of the problem, both human and technical,
Yeah.
my thought is that, sir, let me stay where I was. But if you know him, he is determined, and say, Ifeanyi, tell me, there is no if and but. Are you doing it
Or not?
or not? And when your principal repose such a confidence in you and insist,
Yeah.
you don't have any other alternative than to dive into the sea and then swim
or
against
sink.
the tide, knowing fully well
Yeah.
that he is and will be very supportive. I will never, ever pull a surprise or disappoint you. He's with you, he's with you. He's not with you, he's not with you. So he's someone that you can go to the battle with.
Okay.
And I appreciate him for
Now,
that.
let me also ask, there's this thing out there too, both in the media and popular spaces, that the governor has done all he has done without borrowing a kobo. Now, for me, I want to really believe that maybe that would have been in terms of road construction and every other thing, that maybe here, somehow, he may have borrowed money to do this. So tell me, as someone who, supervised this and ensured that we got this far, did the governor borrow a dime to complete this project?
Well, let me start by answering this question this way. Today, by the grace of God, we are on 759 kilometers of road that is awarded and over 500 kilometers completed. We've not borrowed one kobo on that.
For the road?
I'm coming.
Okay.
We've not borrowed one kobo for that. And we are not owing any contractor. We've done some bridges and awarded some. We've had Ozobolo Atani Bridge awarded, completed. The flyover bridge at Ekulode awarded, completed. The flyover at Ifitoka awarded. The bridge completed, the road ongoing. The one at Omabara, Obo, awarded, not completed, work going on. The one at Newi, what is the name of this? Olasi River, awarded, ongoing. Erosion controls, numerous. Flood control, numerous. One of the flood control that might interest you is the larger flood control. There's a place you call yes, down in Nobi Road. There's a place that is always flooded during the rain. We are resolving all those problems. Now, on the other infrastructural aspect of that, we've done the Fun City. That was sitting on a swamp, was fully reclaimed and level raised. We've done this government house. We've done couples of markets, which we call solution markets. And in all this, we are not in any contractor. And we have only just borrowed 0 naira.
I almost got scared. When they say we almost just borrowed, I wanted to hear the amount. That's why he said 0. Wow. So, Mr. Governor has done all this without borrowing a penny.
Yes.
And you are not owing any contractor.
I'm not owing any contractor.
I'm excited,
You
trust
asked
me.
if they borrowed,
I'm actually very
and
much
5
interested.
kobo was not even borrowed or lend. How does they talk? Just give me, I'll give you back.
I'll give you back, deal.
The
And everything don't finish.
and everything's there. Now, away from the government house and the Fun City, taking a look at around Anambra State, let me take you to Ekulobia. we have a flyover, we have one big building that they're building in that place. Want to know what's going on? You know, is that another jinx that is about to be broken? Let's know if that is the next jinx. If that's not the next jinx, we want to know the next jinx that will be broken.
Well, first of all, I think that when we talk about the jinx that is broken, people just think of this as the only jinx that has been broken. For us to be on this number of roads without borrowing a kobo is a jinx that is broken throughout the country. There is no government in the country over the number of years we've been in democracy that has run this number of projects without borrowing money. There is none. Both in Anambra State, starting from the time of Chinwoke Mbaneji to Ngige, to Peter Obi, to Tiaba, back to Peter Obi, to Willie Obiano. There is no person, even when there is a lot of money within the country. And I'll tell you, aggregate all that we spent in 3 years, convert them to dollars. So we have the true as a benchmark. We spent only 65% of
What has been spent?
Of what was spent by P2B in 2013. Just 65%. And this is what we can show in the Anambra for. And that's the way I want to stop this.
Okay.
But the issue is that for the other jinx that are broken, I'll tell you, the Anambra State has a vision 2070. And it is assumed and is predicted that by 2070, about 38 million people will be living in Anambra State. Today we have about 8 million people living in Anambra. You discover that for you to travel from Awka to Ekulobia, people sleep in Ekulobia roundabout because in an intersection of two federal highways. And so people are crowded within that area and spend hours on end to cross the area. If you go to Nobi during festive period,
for Nobi.
So
no person passes that area. Time we failed to talk about Boa Junction. That is being resolved. For us, if 8 million people are living within that space and they cannot move, imagine when that 8 million people will be living in that place. It means that is impossible to pass. So the other things we've broken is we are the only state so far, I'm starting to be corrected, that have actually taken over a federal rule and gradualizing it. That is a change that is broken. We are the only government that actually taken, in the course of dualization, we took away hundreds of houses and we're able to do what we call compassionate consideration, knowing fully well that our people, because they are sitting on the right of way. So that is another change that is broken. I used to be a consultant, and when we did a couple of roads in some states, I will mention the states, we had to demolish people's houses. For these people have not been paid. In fact, that should be about 16 years thereafter. So, but here, we are trying to recreate confidence in government. That is a change that is being broken. People are having confidence in the government. Is a change that is broken. We are presently doing realizing from Wagwago through Orogu, Nobi to Newi, from Newi to Ozobolo to Federal Highway. It's another change that is broken. There are others that are still in the pipeline.
You're supposed to carry back on you.
Background.
So there are others that we are doing. Now, let me ask you.
Okay.
Before we came in, where do you say the airlines can go and interact and ease themselves up?
Mokudi.
You will bring money for advance.
Under high tension.
You will bring money for advance.
So, another thing that is broken is that the only fun city in the world, quotes, in the world that has fun city, amusement park, water park, and a country club is done in Anambra. That is a change that is broken. Before now, there are no place where the elites go. There are no people like you where you go and meet your colleagues. All you do is go to your house. And so, in doing this, is a change that is broken, that Anambra now will become a converging point. And Ndi Anambra can now come and now interact with themselves and know themselves. It's a change that is broken. During the campaign that brought in Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, as the governor of Anambra State, Anambra State was under the siege of the miscreants, our brothers, that were misguided, that they call themselves unknown gunmen, that the whole southern senatorial districts were taken over by them. In fact, other contenders could not even campaign, even going with armored vehicles. The place was seized, we were under siege. Out of 21 local government, 8 local government were under siege, complete control by these people. But when Professor Charles Soludo came on board, he was able to bring peace in Anambra.
Absolutely.
And then the people that were misguided elements were taken care of from the roof. Because this thing stems from the thought that our culture has actually changed. That if onye ọbụla chọrọ okite, ebute ego mbute,
Gets rich quick.
ebute, a na-akpata ego akpata. So, and then it is these native doctors that try to misguide our youth. N'ibulu ọgwụ, cocaine or whatever, ịpụ a kọmputa ndị ọcha egbuo isi. And all of them ends up in jail. And then the same native doctor tells you that, oh, why they caught you is that you smiled at a lady when you were entering an aircraft. Or that you did not close your mouth very well. Or you did not rub one thing or the other. So these are the things that the government of Professor Charles Soludo has done.
So before the November 8th election, is there any other magic in the pipeline? Because it seems that every time in this administration there's always something in the pipeline, especially when it comes to your ministry.
Exactly.
So what are the next big steps we are looking forward to before November 8th?
One of the big steps we want to take is to consolidating Anambra State as a destination.
Yes.
And in doing that, we are looking at creating what we call the Garden of Eden. One place where you get to and you get lost for weeks and weeks.
You get lost.
Get lost.
In nature, you get lost in nature.
People are going to think about my life.
You can even find love there too.
Well.
So that is one of the things. We're looking at Awka 2.0.
Okay.
You see, before this administration, Awka cannot actually be described as a capital city due to lack of basic infrastructure.
True.
Today, we are lifting Awka to the next level. But just like you have New Cairo, where we will want to bring in all the facilities and amenities to actually transform and actually create a capital for the next generation.
I can really say that is indeed the Soludo magic.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we can say the solution is here.
Yeah. And I'm very, very optimistic that a lot of this will bring a lot of change to Anambra. I'm looking forward to that Garden of Eden.
Yes. Sir.
And that one way into my head. Really.
Single Pringles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Commissioner, I want to thank you immensely for having our time on the Voice of the Anambra podcast. It was an interesting one with you. I don't know. I've been educated and I've been informed too.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jasmine.
Yes, I was. I'm going to spread the rumor of the garden.
So spreading rumors, spreading the fact.
I'm
You're getting fact, you're spreading rumors.
They will get garden of
Okay, getting of it. Okay, they're getting of it.
Talk as small now. Maybe
It's
people
coming.
plenty for there.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much, Ndi Okoma. Thank you once again for your time and availability. I will look forward to having you some other time. Maybe when before the November 8th, so we'll sit and talk about the projects that are already commissioned. And before we even end, I saw something on social media, right? Someone made a post and said that Mr. President came, that roads were constructed in Anambra State according to the Ministry
Okay,
of
no, I think I heard that. Somebody wrote on social media
and Mr. President did not commission those
very
roads.
important. Somebody,
And he only came to commission.
okay, no, another thing I want to even add. Some people are saying that these federal roads that your ministry and the government of Anambra State dualizing, that is not Anambra State government that is dualizing it. That is a federal government project.
That was even a different story of its own. Yeah. This one is that if the government claims that they awarded over 700 and something kilometer of road and constructed, completed over 500 kilometers of road. That why did Mr. President not commission those roads and just came to commission a government house and an amusement park in quote?
So now these two questions now, Mr. Commissioner, you are going to tell us why didn't we deem it necessary for the president to commission at least all these roads that we are doing? And secondly, are these federal roads constructed by the federal government and Anambra State government is claiming them?
At all. And we project signposts or project name boards. If you go there, whatever you see, please take it. Clearly stated by the government of Anambra State. First of all, we have a format and we have how we present our project billboards. All of them are in synergy with our project signboard and the synergy that is under the supervision of Anambra State Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. And it can be federal government and we're claiming that they leave us. The contractor won't even write their name there. They will get paid.
Exactly.
So these roads are being done by the government of Ndi Anambra. Designed, approved, awarded, executed, and paid for by the government of Anambra State under the leadership of Professor Chukuma Solido CFR.
Asilama.
That is that.
On
the roads commission of the road. It is a mundane thing. It's something any person do. Mr. Governor's understanding is that the road user should commission it. Just like you see how people were elected when we commissioned Onitsha. When we commissioned them.
Above family, Amansi,
Ufuma Road. They were commissioned by the people that use it, that own them. And so, that's what we think. But these are legacy. What bringing the president is legacy projects that is thoughtful, have an impact, has a meaning, has a destination in what we are doing. They're actually milestones. In one way, they are building blocks in one way though. So for me, that's why the president has to do this. And remember that we have actually asked the president to stay here for 2 weeks and keep commissioning.
He asked for a land though. Where is the land? Where he will retire
his to build. We need the commission for lands to come and tell us why.
So we asked him to stay for 2 weeks and keep commissioning projects. Unfortunately, it's not just the president of Ndi Anambra.
Yes.
The president of the Federal Republic of
Nigeria.
So much. But one thing you will take away from this visit is that we've taken commissioning to a different level. It is not when you see a religious
As well.
took it to a different level. And we are saying to the people that someone should come and then get to the pedestal that we are in.
Wow.
All right. Finally, we come to the end of the podcast, Voices of Ndi Anambra, where we get to talk our minds. Today, Mr. Commissioner was talking his mind from the immobile of his heart. The heart is doing bing, 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 since the hot seat. Don't worry, I am forgetting you. I am forgetting you. The hot seat is now cold. Thank you so much for your time and participation on the podcast today. And I'm very sure that you learned a thing or two that you can go out there and tell your friends. See, na the main thing be this. No be say they say.
Exactly.
Thank you once again, Engineer Ifeanyi Koma. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebunam, and you can always call me Jasmine. Remember to like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified each time we have a content for you to enjoy. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm Mazi Ejimofo Opara.
You can't show the doctor. I show the doctor.
Okay, Mazi Ejimofo Opara, PhD. Thank you, and we hope to see you next time on Voice of Ndi Anambra podcast.
Bye.
Bye.